Strange bedfellows, the alliance theory of political belief systems. What explains the contents of political belief systems? A widespread view is that they derive from abstract values, like equality, tolerance, and authority. Alliance theory leverages decades of research in political science showing that, with the exception of political elites, most people lack consistent ideological beliefs. However, we depart from these approaches by stressing that political elites are in many ways just as inconsistent as the masses. They are merely better attuned to, or more loyal to, the historically contingent alliances that arose in their society. These alliances are no more conducive to intellectual consistency than any other set of alliances, historical or contemporary. It is therefore misleading to characterize elite opinion as more coherent, sophisticated, organized, deep, or thoughtful than mass opinion. Indeed, we argue that political belief systems are not so much philosophies as collections of ad hoc justifications, rationalizations, moralizations, embellishments, and rhetorical tactics designed to advance the interests of complex political alliances in competition with their rivals. Moral principles are not so principled. Core values are not so core. Ideological worldviews are not designed to literally view the world but to serve strategic functions like signaling allegiance or mobilizing support. People do not simply cheer for ideologies or parties as monolithic entities. They advocate for, and rally opposition to, a variety of distinct ethnic, religious, economic, occupational, and cultural groups, in addition to specific individuals, situated in unique conflicts. It is these conflicts that explain political belief systems, defining, and continually redefining, what it means to be a liberal or conservative, Republican or Democrat. Alliance theory makes two assumptions. 1. Humans possess cognitive mechanisms for forming and detecting alliances. And 2. Humans use propagandistic tactics to support their allies and oppose their rivals in conflicts. The primary difference between different communities is not what values they hold, but whom they view as their allies. Alliances are a crucial feature of social life among a variety of social species including chimpanzees, baboons, macaques, dolphins, and hyenas. Why has evolution selected for alliances in so many different species? The answer is that there is strength in numbers. 2 individuals are stronger than 1, 3 are stronger than 2, and so forth, leaving individuals without allies, nakedly at the mercy of everyone else. Alliances can occur between high-ranking individuals to maintain their rank, called conservative alliances. Between low-ranking individuals to advance their rank, called revolutionary alliances, and between high and low-ranking individuals to achieve both of these ends, bridging alliances. Criteria for choosing allies: similarity, all else equal, more similar individuals make better allies. Sharing the same beliefs, preferences, and expectations allows for more efficient and fluid coordination. People use tags, markers, or identities to assort with like-minded individuals. And they alter their appearance to signal commitment to a particular group over alternative groups. Observable markers of similarity are also useful as coordination devices or focal points, creating common knowledge of existing alliances. As a result, when people are split apart based on arbitrary labels, it creates a self-fulfilling expectation that possessors of each label will favor each other as allies, known as a minimal groups effect. Transitivity: individuals who exhibit transitivity, i.e., who share the same allies and rivals, make better allies as well. Transitivity mitigates 2 risks. 1. Infighting, where one's allies enter conflicts against one another, and 2. Betrayal, where one's allies side with one's rivals. Individuals therefore benefit from favoring transitive allies. and by adopting their allies' social preferences, as in the saying, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend," or "Any friend of yours is a friend of mine." Mathematical models have shown that transitivity gives rise to clusters of individuals with shared loyalty toward one another and shared rivalry toward other clusters, a natural definition of what groups are. Alliances can also occur between groups, called super alliances, and can vary in terms of their transitivity with other groups. Research indicates that transitivity plays an important role in both individual and intergroup alliances, including in adolescent friendships, gang rivalries, religious conflicts, and international relations. Interdependence. Individuals who are interdependent, i.e., who reliably provide benefits to one another, make better allies as well. For example, individuals might reliably share knowledge, offer protection from aggressors, or provide help in times of need. Consistent with evolutionary theories of interdependence, people feel allegiance to people who are instrumental to their goals, and they feel enmity toward those who threaten their goals. People also support political parties that advance their personal and group interests, creating interdependence with co-partisans who share the same interests. Stochasticity. All of the above cues for choosing allies, i.e. similarity, transitivity, and interdependence, are self-reinforcing and partly stochastic. Similar people favor one another as allies, but allies also imitate one another, increasing their similarity. People favor transitive allies, but allies also adjust their loyalties to accommodate new allies, increasing their transitivity. Interdependence gives rise to allegiance, but allies also provide benefits to one another, increasing their interdependence. Small variations in initial social conditions can feed on one and another, snowball into seemingly arbitrary alliance structures, supporting allies in conflicts after choosing one another. Allies must support one another in conflicts, for instance, by defending their allies' reputations, attacking their rivals' reputations, and mobilizing support from third parties. Perpetrator biases. Perpetrators of wrongdoing commonly use propaganda to defend their interests. They downplay their personal responsibility for the transgression, emphasize the role of mitigating circumstances, embellish their good intentions, and minimize the severity and duration of the harm inflicted on their victims. Importantly, people also apply perpetrator biases to their allies, rationalizing their allies' transgressions in precisely the same way, a finding which has been replicated across cultures. Victim biases. Victims exhibit the opposite set of biases as perpetrators. They emphasize the perpetrator's personal responsibility for the transgression, deny the role of mitigating circumstances, attribute the perpetrator's motives to irrational malevolence, and embellish the severity and duration of the harm inflicted on them. Importantly, people also apply victim biases to their allies, embellishing their allies' grievances in precisely the same way. Across cultures, victim biases on both sides of a conflict can lead to competitive victimhood, wherein groups strive to establish that their in-group was subjected to more injustice at the hands of the out-group than the other way around. We note that victim biases, which call attention to one's critical disadvantages, are difficult to reconcile with the function of enhancing one's self-image. They make better sense as tactics for mobilizing support. Attributional biases. Well-off people also use propaganda to defend their interests. They assume their social and material advantages derive from internal dispositions, talent, hard work, rather than external causes, luck, circumstances. Worse-off people exhibit the opposite bias. They assume their disadvantages derive from external causes, misfortune, mistreatment, rather than internal dispositions, incompetence, low effort. This general pattern of results observed within the same individuals, is known as the self-serving attributional bias. People also apply this attributional bias to their allies, attributing their allies' advantages to internal causes and their disadvantages to external causes. Section summary. Humans, like other social animals, possess an alliance psychology. This psychology includes mechanisms for choosing allies, based on similarity, transitivity, and interdependence, and supporting allies in conflicts, by using victim, perpetrator, and attributional biases. What can explain this bewildering variety of beliefs? Alliance theory suggests a parsimonious answer. Liberals and conservatives have different allies and rivals. When they use propagandistic biases to support their allies and oppose their rivals, they generate conflicting narratives that form the contents of political belief systems.